This is the Dark Shadow of Light, and you're watching my Let's Play of Sonic Heroes. In the last episode, we defeated Eggman's robots and collected the third Chaos Emerald, and in this episode, we continue the story of Team Sonic.
Tails, how much time's left?
We've got until sunset!
Tails, Knuckles, give it all you got! Full speed ahead! Got it!
So now we begin the fourth zone with Team Sonic, and here's a shortcut you can use. I'm pretty sure I've shown it before. In fact, I think I know I have.
Look at those canyons!
Keep your eyes on the rail, Sonic!
Yes, Sonic has to be careful, as I explained in the last episode, because he can get carried away and overconfident, and he could fall off the stage if we were not controlling him. Anyway, there's a stage that will take us to, the key that will take us to the fourth special stage. Now, the cutscene that just played before I began playing with the team, yeah, Tails said that we have until sunset but I'm going to explain why this little time thing doesn't exactly make sense later, because even if it's dawn, sunset doesn't exactly make sense. Like I said, I'll get more into that later, and if I didn't have a barrier, I would have just lost my key. But anyway, we're moving on, and just destroy this guy, and then move on.
What's up with that train?
Now, be careful not to go too fast here, because you could end up grinding right into one of those trains.
Yes!
Yeah, you might want to use Tails rather than the homing attack to collect those boxes, because you can end up jump dashing off of where the rails are.
Let's leave it to Sonic!
Yeah, we'll leave it to Sonic since he's really the only one that could do it. Now let's see, what can I talk about? Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I don't seem to be having that microphone problem anymore, so like I said in the last episode, it may have been a glitch or something. Anyway, there are 2 checkpoints. Now we have a level 2 Tails, a level 2 Sonic, and a level 1 Knuckles. Of course, it goes without saying that by the end of the stage they'll all be level 3, or at least 2 of them will be anyway. Now, in the end of the last episode, I mentioned something that excuse me. I mentioned something that I didn't have time to talk about, and now I have plenty of time to talk about that, which is the origin of this team. Now, in order to explain that, I'm going to have to go into basically like the origin of the Sonic series itself, or like, you know, the beginning of the games. Now, I'm going to explain right now that Team Sonic is really of this game. Team Sonic and Team Dark are really the only teams whose origins I could explain, as Team Dark's formation is pretty much seen in the game, and I know enough about Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles to explain kind of how their team would have formed. So anyway, as I'm sure most of you know, Sonic began as a 2D, Sonic the Hedgehog, the series, began as a 2-dimensional side-scroller on, I think it was either the Sega Genesis or the Dreamcast, I don't remember which. Basically, you had the original Sonic the Hedgehog, in which, and no, I don't mean the one that was released in 2006, as far as I know, and as I understand, that game didn't exactly get, you know, good reviews. Like, it wasn't hated, but it was viewed as a game that wasn't as good as it should have been, but that's not the point now. Anyway, I'm talking about the original Sonic the Hedgehog, which came out, I think, in the either the late 1980s or the early 1990s, I'm not sure. Point is, the very first Sonic the Hedgehog game, you just had Sonic the Hedgehog. I believe you just had Sonic the Hedgehog himself, and the whole game you just played as him, and he just had to run around freeing animals from Dr. Robotnik, Dr. Robotnik's machines, which you turn them into evil mechanical versions of themselves or something like that. Anyway, first Sonic game ever, you have Sonic the Hedgehog, and that's it. Second game, I believe, Sonic meets Tails the Fox, who I don't exactly know how the relationship between them was established, but I guess they became friends pretty quickly, and ever since then, trademark has been that Tails has always followed Sonic around. And then in the third Sonic game, Sonic and Tails met Knuckles. Now, as I understand, Sonic and Knuckles didn't exactly get along at first. They were like rivals, and they like didn't exactly like each other. But something, I don't know what, must have forced them to team up or something, and then they started liking each other, and they started befriending one another. Basically recap. First Sonic game, you have Sonic by himself. Second Sonic game, Sonic meets Tails, and they become friends. Third Sonic game, the Sonic and Tails meet Knuckles, start out a little rough, they become friends, and ever since then, assuming the games that follow like a story, then they've been friends ever since then. Of course, it might not make sense that there's a story that's been followed, but I didn't make the series. I just read about and I've seen and watched it. Yeah, I've amassed a pretty big chain here, and it's gotten me about I think that was 5,000 points or something like that. Now, this fourth stage introduces something different that I'm going to explain when we get to it, and I just ran into those mines. But you want to try to you'll want to try getting on those springs as much as you can, otherwise you'll end up taking more time to get through the special stage. Now, I know I didn't explain Team Sonic very well. Now, let's see. As far as I'm aware, or as far as I've been able to gather, I'm pretty sure that this game follows... I know that this game follows the events of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I think Sonic Adventure, I'm probably wrong on this, but I think Sonic Adventure was the first three-dimensional Sonic game. I'm not sure about that, so don't quote me on that. And anyway, I have some good time. Let's see. Yep, it's that part. Yeah, I have 1 minute and 29 seconds left, so it's not as if I could lose. Well, actually, yeah, I still like that because mines and whatnot can still reduce my time and cause me to fail. But, you know, this isn't really too difficult for a person of my skill level. Not that I'm bragging, of course, because that's not at all what I'm doing. But anyway, try to get on that spring. Now here can be... Yeah, this part can be a little tedious, especially when that happens and you lose time. You can just change formations to correct yourself if necessary. Now, did I say this stage introduces something? Let's see. I think it might have been the next one, maybe I was wrong. Yeah, apparently I was wrong. I think that was the next stage, or I must have missed it. But, we'll see it in upcoming special stages, so it's not as if I, won't get to that. So, yeah, again, I may not have expertly explained Team Sonic. Oh, 5 1-ups, nice. But, I only have limited knowledge of the games before this one, or, excuse me, the games before Sonic Adventure. But anyway, we move on to Bullet Station, the 8th stage, Destroy Eggman's base is the mission. Now, let's see. Yeah, I would have to pretty much explain the origins of the characters themselves to be able to explain all of the teams. So, Team Sonic is the one that I would say I know the best. Excuse me. Had a little, throat problem. Anyway, and I just messed myself up. But no matter. Excuse me, I having a bit of an issue with my throat, like I just said. Okay, I'm back. Let's see. There's the key, the first key of the stage, which, excuse me. Anyway, and that box right there is a red power growth for Knuckles. not entirely sure why it was put here, because Knuckles doesn't need to be leveled in order to destroy the engine core. No, we're not. I'm too good to let that happen. Again, not to brag, even though that may have come out a little wrong. Let's see. You only need the switch on the right, so you could just skip the enemy on the left entirely. But anyway, up here is another checkpoint. I'm going to get it with Sonic, and then I'm going to jump onto the rail so that I don't have any problems. Don't have level 3, so we'll have to use the tornado, but that's not going to be too much of a problem. Now we jump over here onto the rails, and I'm going to get that power core and not jump off the stage. I'm going to use Rocket Excel to activate all 3 of these switches.
Let's go down there.
Let's see, is there something I should be talking about now? Let's see, I think I had something in mind. I'm not sure what that was, but let's see what comes to mind. Yeah, if you get into this cannon, you can basically bypass the whole surrounding area and get in here without any hassle.
Let's try firing that thing. Hey, come on now. Don't do it, Sonic.
Well, unfortunately we have to, otherwise we'll be stuck here, and Eggman will win, which we're not going to let happen. Let's see. Yeah, unlike with Team Dark, there is a power core for each of your characters here. And I'll say it again, even though I already said it, I'm not sure why with Team Dark there were 2 blue power cores instead of 1 for each of the characters, but anyway, that doesn't exactly matter.
That's what I call a flight. I think my heart stopped.
Well, if your heart did stop, and it must have been very briefly, because if it wasn't functioning, you'd be dead right now, and we wouldn't be using it. And again, we switched to power formation before getting off the rail. Of course, going up there is our only option, so just destroy this guy. Destroy that weight if you want or have to.
Yes, we are.
We have to. Now, you see, Sonic isn't really afraid to do things. Like, Knuckles may second guess and say, wait a minute, maybe this isn't a good idea. Like, he's basically more considerate of the situations than Sonic is. Or Sonic just jumps in.
I'm right behind you.
Now, during those couple of lines, Tails sounded, you know, exasperated or annoyed. I'm not sure why, but yes, we know.
Now, Knuckles, destroy that engine core. Got it.
Alright, now we move on to the bobsled. And of course we have to make sure not to lose all of our characters, because if we do, then we lose a life.
The speed decreases if Sonic is thrown off, and if Tails falls off, the bobsled won't be able to jump.
I've explained it before, and I'll do so again. Tails falling off also means that you lose a life. Basically, each time the bobsled is hit, you lose a character. The first time it gets hit, you lose your speed character. The second time it gets hit, you lose your power character. And the third time it gets hit, you lose the fly character. The bobsled is destroyed, and even though the team isn't damaged, or none of the team members die, you have to start over from the last checkpoint, or from the beginning of the stage if you didn't get a checkpoint. Now, each character is responsible for a different thing when using this bobsled. The speed character propels the bobsled and gives it its speed. Without the speed character, the bobsled goes slower. The power formation character basically steers the bobsled. It's the driver, basically. Without the bobsled, you can't steer. Without the power character, you can't steer the bobsled, and it'll only go in one direction, unable to move, or unable to move horizontally or to the left or the right. If you lose the fly formation character, by that time the other 2 characters will already have been lost, and the bobsled will fall apart. The fly formation character is responsible for allowing the bobsled to jump. Basically, they lift. I think it works by them lifting the bobsled as they fly upward, which allows it to jump for a brief moment. Obviously, without them doing that, the bobsled can't jump. But anyway, we finished the second stage of the 4th zone, 99 emblems, and now we're going to move on to the 4th Emerald Challenge. Now, in the third special stage, in the third Emerald Challenge, in the third special stage, the bonus and Emerald Challenges started getting more difficult, and you'll only see that they get more difficult from there on. Now, don't be fooled by the, I just screwed up while I was about to say. The point is, I was going to say don't be fooled by the apparent ease with which I'm moving through this Emerald Challenge, but anyway, I was going to say that and I crashed into the mines like twice, so that kind of defeats what I was saying. The point is, I'm not finding it too difficult to do this, but it can be difficult, especially, as I said before, if you're not very skilled. Now, let's see, yeah, the emerald's right there, just a little more, and it's caught. The silver emerald has been obtained. The colors we've seen so far are, let's see, green. Yeah, I know what the colors are. Let's see how to describe them with by their shade or whatever. One is you've got green, blue, gold, and silver. Now we're moving on to the boss of this zone, which is the egg Albatross.
That thing's loaded with Eggman's weapons.
Eggman, you're finished!
Ready, all cannons! Open fire!
Alright, let's do this.
There's only one way to go. Ready?
Yeah!
Ready!
Okay, I'm going to use the same strategy as always to beat this guy. Basically use homing attack on the right or the left wing until it's gone. Homing attack also works on the center, but you have to be, like, inside the ship, so to speak.
One down.
Now we gotta attack the body!
I'll destroy them all.
Now, in this team, I'm going to actually try to show the whole boss stage, since we won't be seeing it again for the rest of this Let's Play. Now, my strategy requires you to emphasize strengthening your speed character, because I basically just use homing attack for the first two phases. If you can do homing attack with all of your characters, you just make your attack that much more powerful.
Retreat!
Okay, I could finish this fight off now, but I'm going to draw it out for a while to show the rest of the stage, as I said. Nope, he doesn't give up. And it's because he doesn't give up that these Sonic games are released. I'm pretty, as far as I know, each Sonic game, involves or deeply involves or centers around Eggman doing something that threatens the world. Now, I should be doing light dashes here, but I'm not timing it correctly, so I'm just doing rocket excel, so, you know, screw it. Now we have Team Blast, and that's pretty much the whole stage. After that, after those dashboards, it starts over, and we're right back where we started. I'm going to use Team Blast to finish this guy off, and conclude this episode. And there's the Egg Albatross defeated.
Ready for this?
Yeah, I don't think we will.
Yes!
But anyway, that concludes this episode of Sonic Heroes. In the next episode, we will move on to the 5th set of stages and continue Team Sonic's story. This has been the Dark Shadow of Light, and I'll see you all in time.
Eggman, you know you can't win!
Once again, you fools have been tricked.
It's a fake?
From these canyons, watch as I conquer the world with my air fleet. And this time, you can't stop me.
Drat, a trap to stall for time! Sonic!
It's not an Eggman robot. Sonic! Knuckles! Wait for
Successfully copied.